Juan Hernangomez, despite the fame he recently gained by starring in the movie Hustle as up-and-coming player Cruz, has recently finished his BA, in which he has been playing since 2016. The 26-year-old from Madrid was involved in controversy with the Minnesota Timberwolves last summer when the franchise did not allow him to participate in the Tokyo Olympics, citing his shoulder injury. This led to Hernangomez's trade to the Memphis Grizzlies, and he later moved to the Boston Celtics. He played in Boston from September 2021 to January 2022 with a role of little relevance, being able to participate in only 5.3 minutes per game. Yet another trade took him to the San Antonio Spurs, and a month later, he donned the Jazz uniform. In just 1 year, he has gone through 5 teams, and the next, if he signs with any more, would be the 6th. At the moment, there are no concrete indications as to where Hernangomez is headed to after Utah. There were recent reports linking him to some Spanish teams, but the power forward had said he is not yet ready to return to Europe. The option to cut his contract had to be taken by June 30th, or his $7 million salary would have been guaranteed for the coming year. The Utah Jazz have decided to execute the exit. The Utah team has exercised its waive option at the last minute. Juancho Hernangomez is left without a team and will have to find a place in the market. Could he be a potential fit for the Golden State Warriors? They unloaded 6 players in free agency and could use a big. In today's video, we will talk about Juancho Hernangomez and the Warriors. If you enjoy the video, make sure to press the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more NBA rumors and stories. Spanish forward Juancho Hernangomez did not have one of his most comfortable seasons in the NBA and had to live from trade to trade until joining the Utah Jazz, where he had some moments of confidence. Hernangomez reviewed his season on Movistar Plus' NBA Generation program and talked about his poor start with the Boston Celtics, which traded him to the San Antonio Spurs in a 3-way trade with the Denver Nuggets. The forward finished the season averaging 3.3 points and 2.5 rebounds in 11.1 minutes of play, although he increased his numbers to 6.2 points and 3.5 rebounds in 17.5 minutes during his time in Salt Lake City. It seemed at first that Juancho Hernangomez was just a throw-in to make the Joe Ingles trade work at the deadline, but he turned out to be a diamond in the rough. Hernangomez finished the season as the Jazz's best perimeter shooter, and even when he was playing limited minutes, he would find a way to impact the game, which is what every coach is always searching for. He was a great locker room guy, would fight for rebounds, was smart with his movement off the ball, and was key in some of the Jazz's better moments through the latter half of the season. Juancho Hernangomez is not exactly sure what the future holds, and he's okay with that. After being traded to the San Antonio Spurs from the Boston Celtics and spending just 2 weeks with the Texas team, he was traded again to the Utah Jazz on February 9. But Hernangomez was not a featured player in that trade deadline deal. The trade that saw the Jazz say goodbye to Joe Ingles brought in Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a young, rangy guard with a lot of upside, and Hernangomez was viewed as a salary-matching throw-in. Fast forward a few months later, and Hernangomez was a bright spot for the Jazz and a pleasant surprise. Not only did Hernangomez almost immediately gain the trust and respect of his Jazz teammates for his work ethic and willingness to adapt, but he also showed some really nuanced, high basketball IQ, things that impressed the coaching staff. Add into the mix the fact that he shot a career-best 43.8% from three-point range while with the Jazz, and it made for a really successful few months. After being traded 3 times and playing with 4 teams in less than 2 years, Hernangomez has had a bit of a resurgence in his career, and it's understandable that he's not too worried about what will come next. Plus, he's looked at the last couple years through a very optimistic lens, learning as much as he can in every stop along the way from the stars on each team. Steve Kerr, who loves players who play defense and help defense within a system, could insert Juancho Hernangomez into the rotation. At first, he might not get many minutes, but after the injuries and fatigue kick in with the aging trio, he could see a bump and more opportunity to showcase his talents. He could become the primary backup for Draymond Green, from whom he could learn a thing or two on defense, which he already plays solid. Hernangomez has shown what he can bring to the team. Now, it's just a matter of a proper fit. Defense. Juancho Hernangomez is 6'9" with a 7'0" wingspan. To the more traditional NBA fan, he'd be seen as a player with a true power forward body. Golden State doesn't have a lot of size at the power forward position, with Kevon Looney, 6'9", and Draymond Green, 6'7", so it's easy to notice how Hernangomez is going to help out there. Hernangomez could quickly adapt to the Warriors system and be a Bjelica type of player and find ways to impact the game. On defense, he's been active and disruptive with the Jazz, averaging 1.1 blocks and 1.1 steals per 36 minutes. Among rotation players on the team, Hernangomez ranks 5th in defensive box plus or minus, 5th in steal percentage, and 3rd in block percentage. Hernangomez could find his fit in Warriors' bench lineup. Offensive fit. Hernangomez isn't known as an incredible offensive player, but his contributions on that end of the court have already proven valuable. He averaged 11.4 points per 36 minutes while shooting incredibly well. His 42.5% from 3 was a career high, as was his 63.4% true shooting with the Jazz. He doesn't need a lot of shots, but when he's gotten them, he's made the most of his opportunities. This is a tiny sample size, so while we'd love for him to be a consistently elite shooter, that's probably not likely. Regardless, he's been good enough as a shooter throughout his career to expect at least average shooting on open three-pointers. That alone allows him to be valuable as a big in the Warriors system. Outside of his shooting, Juancho could be valuable with his movement in Golden State's offense. He cuts off ball frequently, opening himself and his teammates up for easy shots. There is a lot of creativity off ball from the Warriors players who are used to running such a free-flowing system. Having new players like Hernangomez improvising cuts adds a new element to the offense. The team needs players who can contribute on defense without hurting the offense, and Hernangomez has fit seamlessly on both ends of the court. While he may not be a significant acquisition for the Warriors, that perception could change. He's a 26-year-old player with size, shooting ability, defense, and feel for the game. He's already a valuable rotation player for a playoff team. If he can continue to improve, he might prove to be a pleasant surprise with the Warriors, who know how to maximize a player's potential. He was just waived prior to the beginning of free agency at the end of June. Despite being traded a lot, one thing has remained consistent, and that's his ability to space the floor. While his career 3P% is 35%, with the Jazz he shot 44% from 3. He also shot 41% in 61 games with the Denver Nuggets, so it's safe to say with enough spacing he can knock down some open looks, something he'll have plenty of in the Golden State. He's not especially bouncy, but moves quickly for his form. He isn't afraid to pull the ball down and drive, and has a fairly decent feel for the game. His passing is also a bit underrated. Juancho knows how to play the game and brings a lot of hustle. If the Warriors want a guy to bring energy from the bench, he is a surefire can't-miss pick. And what do you guys think? Is Hernangomez a good fit for the Warriors? If not, where do you see him going this offseason? I would love to hear your opinion, so please let me know what you think in the comments. And last, don't forget to like the video and hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more cool stories from the NBA.